with everything that's gone on, with all the conversations between players and coaches and who's here and who's not here and show passion and do this. This is the week to show it for these guys because some of them aren't going to get another chance after this.
Tony, how do you feel about this matchup? How many changes do you think we'll see? And is this a game where you think it'll be wide open, back and forth? The Haiti team has kind of made it that type of track meet, if you will. It hasn't been such a defensively organized, with a perfect shape and making it tough to break down. They've been pretty open in the way that they've played.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised tonight in watching the game against Trinidad a little bit earlier, that they were sloppy in some ways. They picked up a red card. Like they look like they have talent in a lot of ways. Maybe not as talented as certainly not as talented as Jamaica, but confusing like Jamaica, right? Because we've been talking about Jamaica for years and how we think like they're sort of the next team that's going to do something. And we look at the players that they have, and then in the end, there doesn't seem like there's a result in them, right? And that's kind of how I feel about Haiti in this tournament so far. They looked good against Saudi Arabia. They lose, but they put Saudi Arabia under pressure for most of that match. And tonight they look sloppy. I don't know why, and maybe might be right or wrong in the end. I still think it's probably the toughest matchup for the U.S. Like, I still think it's going to be a game. And Jimmy said it earlier, Chuck, I like the fact that they have something to play for, right? That's not a team that's out of the tournament. I think it's a better test.
Right.
I think I wrote my lineup, so whenever you're ready, I'll give you my lineup.
I've been ready. Come on, let's go.
All right. So if you want to do it, I got 4 changes in my lineup. I keep Freeze in goal. The right side of the fence stays the same. So you got Richards and Freeman. I put Mark McKenzie in only because I think if Tim Ream is your guy and you're asking him to play 4 games, potentially now with a quarterfinal matchup, I think you got to give him a rest at some point. And then I give Tolkien a run out on the left-hand side. In the middle of the field, I got Tyler Adams and I got Berhalter. I don't change the 3 for now. I got Luna, left to right, Luna, Tillman, McGlynn, and I got Damian Downs up top. So I got Downs, Adams, Tolkien, and McKenzie as my 4 changes.
I like that a lot. I mean, I'd like to see someone else play where McGlynn is playing. But I think I look at the limited options, and maybe a Brendan Aronson comes in that position. But ultimately, I don't think he makes that many changes. I think we're looking at 3 to 4 maximum. I don't think he's definitely not making more than 4 in my mind.
So what'd you have here?
So yeah, I would say Freeman's still in, Richards in. He's played Miles Robinson like instead of Mark McKenzie coming in today. I don't know if that is.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Good shout.
Yeah, I don't know if you can read into that or not. But I think it's Robinson or McKenzie that comes in to play alongside Richards. Then Tolkien in for Arson. That makes a lot of sense. I think they've openly said how Tolkien would probably get more minutes if he were fit. He's been out for a month, so they're trying to get him up to speed. I think it makes sense to give him a run there. Berhalter, Adams, I love that. Tillman, Luna, and I would go Brendan Aronson instead of Jack McGlynn there. And then up top, Damian Downs.
So you're going to go 5 changes then in there.
I'm going to go
Robinson, Tolkien, Adams, Downs, and Aronson. Yeah, it's going to be 4 or 5. I would be really surprised if it's not at least 4 changes to this lineup.
Yeah, you need to get some fresh legs.
Yeah, who did get yellows tonight? I got to check it out. I think Luna got one, right?
Yeah.
I think that Berhalter got for that little. Didn't he get one for that little scuffle that was?
No, I don't think he was given one.
No, I thought he was. Okay. Maybe the guys can check. And do we know?
Yeah, he did. He did. Berhalter got one at the end. He did. You're right.
He did. Yeah, I thought he did. By the way, I don't mind that yellow card. Is it 2 yellows? Do we know? And it probably erases after what? After the quarterfinals? But the yellow card thing is so stupid to me. I'll be honest. I like yellow cards. I don't get it. I could see red card, of course, but yellow cards to me just don't make sense, in especially coming out of the first round.
Yeah. You know, part of me says I don't know where Haji Wright is with his Achilles, but maybe it's Haji Wright instead of Brent Aronson in that position, and maybe Luna goes to the right, and then you put Haji Wright
I
on the
wouldn't
left.
mind that.
Yeah, that would probably be great. I love the comments too about my boy Renard. He got into it coming on the field. Chris Richards almost shoved him off the field. I thought it was strange for the Saudi Arabian coach Hervé Renard to come on the pitch in the first place. I've seen it. I think we've all seen coaches come on the pitch sometimes to grab their own players. But when you start touching the opposing players, then that's a whole nother issue. He came and touched Chris Richards, and I think that's when it's out of line. You cannot touch opposing players. So I'm curious to see what happens with that scuffle. It seemed a little off, Tony.
That's forbidden ground, man, for a manager. Like, manager, that line is there for a reason. It's because you're done playing and you let those guys figure it out. Unless you're going to grab your guy out of some trouble, you never touch another player. I actually, Charlie, have a real problem with any manager talking to the other players. I hated it my whole life. When I coached, I never spoke to the other players. I think it's disrespectful. And when I say speak, I mean, like, just trash talking or getting into it with them, fighting with them. I think it's just a line you can't cross. But everyone has their own lines, right? But tonight, I was a little bit surprised, but I'm happy the whole sequence. I mean, it started with Berhalter. He didn't like the fact that Tyler Adams got kicked, so he went over there and got involved. And then Chris Richards didn't like the fact that the coach ran on the field and they were pushing Berhalter, so he got involved and got to show a little bit of fight. Look, let's not forget, whether you like any of these guys or don't like them, you think they're good players, they can trap a ball, they can't trap a ball. All of these guys are trying to make a World Cup team, right? They're all trying to make a World Cup team, and we can never forget that fact. Not everyone's going to make it, clearly, but in their heart, they're all trying to prove to the manager that they belong and they care. And especially this week, with everything that's gone on, with all the conversations between players and coaches and who's here and who's not here, and show passion and do this. This is the week to show it for these guys, because some of them aren't going to get another chance after this, right? This might be their only chance.
You know what's ironic, Tony, is that the guy that always is first in line for beef when someone shoves your player, disrespects your player, it's Tyler Adams. First guy, always. He's the guy that's going to come in there and say, hey, don't touch my players. Hey, you kick Christian down, I'm going to step up for you. You kick Weston down, I'm going to step up for you. He gets kicked down, and then Sebastian Berhalter is the first one to say, hey, that's our guy, and steps up. And I absolutely loved, we talk about wanting to see a reaction from these players, wanting to see that they have something, that they're not going to be walked on. They have respect for our flag, for our team. They have this fight, this grit. I'm starting to see that. I really like what I've seen these first two games, and especially in that instance, it's the small things. It's not a big thing, but for Sebastian Berhalter, who's new to the scene, to come in and say, hey, this is my guy. I think Tyler Adams is like, oh, respect, and it's contagious. And I think that's when we talk about culture and Pochettino establishing this culture and being very vocal, you have to want to be here. You have to want to die to be here. And, Diego Luna doing that, obviously, to get his chance. But now we're starting to see it kind of spread around the rest of the team, which I absolutely love. And Pochettino is also making it known, like, no one's given a free pass. And I think that's important for all these guys to know that, hey, it is a blessing to come into that U.S. men's national team locker room, to be a part of the team, to wear the kit, to play in front of the U.S. supporters. It's not. Don't take it for granted. And
hell no.
that's I'm starting to see that with this group. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Obviously Haiti's going to be a difficult game. Like you said, it's going to be open, back and forth, no real structure from the Haitian side. So that's when games can get a little bit dangerous because you're throwing numbers forward because they're giving you the space. But if you lose at the same time, they're going the opposite way. But this is a game too where we could be up 5-0 if we play it right, if we're smart in the way that we attack, even though there might be changes and the cohesion, the continuity might not be there, but the same principles should be there.
Yeah, 100%. But you go to the fight point. Like we've been hearing this for a couple of camps. We've been hearing it from players. We got to fight. We have to bring that back. So you bring a little bit of that back. That has to be a staple. Like that's always been a staple. We've spoken about it. So maybe we're on to something. And don't think for 1 minute that Tyler Adams isn't going to realize, if he didn't realize during that scuffle, that Berhalter was the guy that went to fight for him, right? And don't think that Berhalter's not going to realize that Chris Richards went to fight for him, because all guys do, right? Like everyone does. Everyone wants to know who's the guy standing 60 yards away and didn't move, and who's the guy that's in there battling for your players, right? But yeah, look, we can dissect this thing however we want. Now we move forward after 6 points, qualified. Can't ask for much more than that at the moment. Now Haiti, I think, and now they've gotten over this hump, I think the Haiti game maybe becomes a little bit easier for them. It's Haiti that has to push the game. The U.S. doesn't have to push the game.
You're still here? Yes! I absolutely love that. Listen, while I have your attention, if you want more average to good soccer content, this is the channel for you. Go check out our other videos. Go check out our playlists. And if you're really liking what you're seeing, I don't know how you couldn't, hit like, hit subscribe, of course, and then turn on your notifications so that you do not miss anything that we drop or when we go live. We'd really appreciate that. We'll see you next time.